Greetings to you out there. This is another opportunity for us to come together on our favorite program. Yes, it's become favorite for some people now, and they've been calling me whenever it's not coming out on time, and that's news analysis out of the box, or out of the box news analysis. Whichever one you put first, whether being out of the box or the fact that it's news analysis, all you need to know is it's out of the box news analysis, and this is Goke Omigbodun coming to you again this Tuesday, the 11th day of August 2026. Now today we are discussing what happened earlier today. That's the debate, so to say, but not with any of them being together. So you can call it special interview sessions with those who aspire to be the next governor of Osun State. And I'm aware that ARISE TV invited about 5 or 6 of them. And the sequence that I witnessed them following, I remember that there was first the incumbent, the governor of Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke, who is also the candidate of the Accord Party. Then shortly after him came the candidate of the AAC. And after him came the candidate of the PRP. And after him came the candidate of the All People's Congress, the APC. That's in the person of Asiwaju Monerudin Bola Oyebamiji. And after all of them came the candidate of the ADC. That's Dr. Najim Salam. So let's see how we can run through what each of the candidates said or didn't say. So let's start with the one that went first, and that's the incumbent governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke. Let's go straight for the court, and let's start with some of the issues that he raised. First of all, he mentioned having bought 31 tractors, and therefore on account of that, that's the agriculture in Osun State now is enjoying unprecedented boost. I went out to find out, and I discovered of a truth. 31 tractors were bought, but these 31 tractors are just being put to use on commercial basis. It's not in any way to help the farmers, because those fees, those charges, I think I heard it's between 20 to 25,000 naira maybe per acre or hectare, whatever it is. But whatever it is, the rate that commercial owners of tractors charge is what the Osun State government is also charging the farmers for the use of the tractors. So that cannot be said to be an achievement until the use of the tractors is made to be such that it will profit farmers. Otherwise, the way it is right now, a lot of people have left farming in Osun State, and to actually have a boost in the agricultural sector in Osun State, then government has to train a lot of young people, because it is the young people that are still energetic, that are still ambitious, that can go into the kind of farming that is required today, that are educated enough to go into farming. So young people have to be trained. They have to go to places like IART, the Cocoa Research Institute, or you bring experts from all those places to Osun State. Let the teeming youth of Osun State be trained in agriculture and in handling of agricultural equipment, tractors. They should be able to repair the tractors by themselves, and there should be therefore many more tractors and being deployed to the use of farmers at affordable rates. Beyond that, there should be farm inputs, fertilizers, seeds, seedlings, and all those ones. I didn't hear anything about that from the governor, and neither have I observed anything on ground in Osun State. We are talking about the development of Osun State. So if this is a critique, it means one thing that has been done relatively well is having the tractors at all. Let's have more. Let's have other inputs. Let the tractors be deployed at rates that would actually boost the economic sector of Osun State through agriculture. Now let's move quickly to the fact that the governor said, oh, the economy of the entirety of Osun State has improved. And I'll say, yes, the economy of Ede land has improved, but not the economy of the entirety of Osun State. I live in Osogbo. I was born and bred here, and I can declare that the economy of Osogbo has not improved. Rather, the economy of Osogbo has lost steam to that of Ede community. Just because the governor is from Ede, he lives in Ede. Anybody coming to visit him goes to Ede. Honestly, whoever will be governor of Osun State should live in the government house. That is why Osogbo was named as the state capital. And I've always explained, I explained it even in Yoruba today, that my ancestral home too is from Ede or is in Ede. Nevertheless, what I desire is that Ede should develop, but not at the cost of Osogbo or any other community for that matter. There should be even development in Osun State. And that's a message for whoever emerges the next governor of Osun State. Now, the governor also spoke about the issue of half salaries. And he was boasting that he has paid 2/3 of the half salaries of workers. And I would have expected that anybody should be ashamed with the amount of money coming into Osun State right now, that anybody will still be boasting, you have paid 2/3. 2/3 of what? Of people who have these salaries unpaid, when the entirety of FAAC allocation to Osun State was 1.6 billion April of 2018 under Rauf Aregbesola, 3.4 billion under Gboyega Oyetola in 2022, and 13.7 billion, approximately 14 billion under Ademola Adeleke right now. And now you are still talking, and it's not as if the salaries have also multiplied in the scale or in the ratio of which the income to Osun State has multiplied. Compare 1.6 billion to 14 billion. That's about 8 times, almost 9 times what Rauf Aregbesola was taking as FAAC allocation. And all that has happened is that minimum wage has doubled. And some people will say, oh, he's always talking about this minimum wage thing. Why is he so concerned? Is he also paying his own staff 5 times what they used to earn? And I said, try me. Let Osun government start paying more. Then I'll be able to charge fees more for the services that I earn. And therefore, will also be able to pay my workers the more. So the economy of Osun State is being slowed down by somebody still creating excuses after promising that within 6 months, all of half salaries will be sorted out, and there are enough resources in Osun State to have done that, and only 2/3 of it has been done. There's something wrong somewhere, and the people of Osun had better started thinking right, especially the workers. Of recent, the workers were given 20,000 naira each, 30,000 naira each. It was called palliative, but I call that simply vote buying. Why should that be during the week of elections, that you are suddenly remembering that they require palliative, 20,000, 30,000, for people who still have outstanding 1/3 of their half salaries unpaid to date after being in office, earning 14 billion naira every month or thereabouts? There's something wrong somewhere, honestly. Then somebody pointed out, one of the interviewers pointed out to him that he was putting so much energy focusing on Oyetola that Oyetola is no more on the ballot. I think that should be noted. Again, there was this focus on Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola, and there were derogatory terms that the governor deployed concerning Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola, an elderly person, an elder statesman, former governor of Osun State, just because he's no more supporting you. And wait a minute, I think it's a barefaced lie for anybody to say that Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola did not support Ademola Adeleke in the 2022 elections. I am a witness to this because I approached Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola in 2022, or perhaps even 2021, that I wanted to be governor of Osun State. And, you know, I started consulting with him, and he gave me assurances, and we were working together until a point in time that he called me and told me that, listen, I have instructions from the presidential candidate of the PDP that I must go and support the candidate of the PDP, who then was Ademola Adeleke. So how can anybody now tell me, because I realized after that he started giving his support to his political party and the candidate of that party being Ademola Adeleke. That's why I said barefaced lie for anybody to declare that Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola did not support Ademola Adeleke of the PDP in the 2022 elections. He would not have had all those votes if he didn't get some support from some of these people. And this is part of the arrogance that people arrogate to him. The arrogance, I've told stories before when I thought when we had the SDP during the time that Iola Omishore was contesting to be governor and SDP came third and we were to decide who to support. I was the first to say, oh, we wanted to get rid of Oyetola, so let us go and support Adeleke. And everybody else in the party, including those who have now gone back to join him, they were saying, oh, very arrogant people, we cannot work with them. I see the arrogance coming into play now. In fact, I felt the arrogance come to play then because right in my presence, somebody that I approached and said he could get across to them because Iola Omishore gave me 24 hours to get them to ask for his support and that perhaps he could consider it. And from the other end of the phone, somebody high up in the family said, tell them, I heard with my own naked ears, we don't need them. We know how we are going to win the elections. Of course, they lost the elections at that time out of arrogance. I hope arrogance will not be the root cause of whatever happens on August 15 this year. Then, there was also the talk concerning this same Omoba Olagunsoye Oyinlola. There is a paperweight. Paperweight. Those were the exact words used concerning Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola. And I said, I pity anybody that says a former governor, somebody who's so well loved all over the state, more so in Odoti, is community Okuku, and all over Osun State. And you call him paperweight, and then you made him appeared like he was a beggar, that he came to beg for a car from you. And then the question is, this is, again, as an aside, let me let you know, I'm one of those that thought that that kind of legislation that is saying that we should give all kinds of retirement benefits to former governors, I don't believe in it. I believe it should be stopped. But if it is still the law, then it's got to be followed. So as bad as the law may be, the question is, did Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola ask for a car as Olagunsoye Oyinlola begging an Ademola Adeleke for a vehicle? Or did he ask as a former governor for his entitlements and emoluments? These are questions. And then when the car was finally given, was it with the state resources bought for a former governor of the state? Or was it a personal gift arrogantly handed over by an Ademola Adeleke to a beggarly Olagunsoye Oyinlola? These are questions that we need to ask. And then we all need to be careful how we speak about people, such people, elder statesmen, older than us. We may disagree with them. I disagreed with Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola when he left me to support Ademola Adeleke. I never said anything unprintable about him. That's why I can always still go to him today. And that's why when I go to him, he'll still listen to me today. Now, let's discuss about the issue of the roads in Osun. Somebody asked a question from the governor, oh, some of the roads in Osun are horrible, especially those ones going into Ife. And he said, hey, that's an unfair question. How can you be asking me about roads going into Ife? They are federal roads. And I said, what kind of a situation do we find ourselves? Again, one of those things I've always said, that we should have restructuring in this country so that governors can actually have more resources to take care of the roads in their domain. But be that as it may, if that has not come, because I hope if somebody like me should get into the Senate, that will be one of the bills that I'm going to pass, that we should have restructuring to the extent that there should be more resource control for state governments and the governors to be able to have more resources. And in fact, a lot of the things that are in the exclusive list now should go either into the residual or at best the concurrent list so that governors can truly have powers. But that is not an excuse for a governor to say that a road in which people of your state are dying every day is for the federal government until federal government comes to repair the road. The people of Osun State should continue to have accidents, should continue to have damages to their vehicle, should continue to die on those roads. I think something is wrong somewhere. We should look into it. Anybody who wants to be governor of Osun State must assure us that the people of Osun State will be well taken care of in all ramifications, not minding who is negligent in doing whatever else requires to be done to let there be good living for the people of Osun State. I've spoken about the fact of buying and selling of votes. I'm trying to check my points all over again. And I see this one too, about calling Governor Okpebolo Okpolo. Okpolo is the Yoruba name for frog. Just because you disagree with Governor Okpebolo. And let me tell you, I'm not one of the fans of Governor Okpebolo, because I also have certain reservations about the fact that the first budget that he was going to read out, he could not even call out the exact figures of the budget. And that's the kind of person that won elections, but he is governor today. And he is Excellency Governor, I think, Monday Okpebolo. So if that is his name, how dare you call him Okpolo? Frog. Would you like anybody to also murder your name one way or the other? Kill? No, that's very uncharitable. It's the same kind of spirit that went into the cursing of Wole Oke over certain issues. A governor only cursing. I don't think that's right. I'm not saying that whatever Wole Oke was said to have done or is ascribed to him is right or wrong, but two wrongs do not make a right. There is a parliamentary way, dignified way in which a governor should speak, and not on a program that the same governor is seeking for re-election. He's calling a sitting governor Okpolo. I guess I've dealt with most of the issues, and I can only assure you that I'll take my time again to look at the issues raised by the other contestants, and we will critique them so that you can make the very best of decisions. I pray by the turn of this weekend, the best candidate would have emerged the governor of Osun State. God bless you.